If you follow the crypto world, it really feels like you're watching this massive, chaotic battle royale. You've got this constant crypto war going on, with blockchains like Ethereum, Solana, and dozens of others all fighting to be the only winner. But what if we're all looking at it the wrong way? And that brings us to the big question, right? Is the future really about a single, giant chain that does absolutely everything? Or is something totally different starting to take shape? The answer might just surprise you. And there it is. The key insight here is that the endgame isn't about finding a single king, but about building a cooperative kingdom. It's about an ecosystem where lots of different chains all work together in harmony. And that one idea, well, it completely changes how we should think about the future of digital infrastructure. So let's dive into this concept, what we're calling the Interchain Nation. It's a fundamental shift, moving away from the messy, competitive free-for-all we see today and towards something way more powerful, a coordinated, standardized family of blockchains. The fancy term for this is a multi-chain modular ecosystem. Okay, let's break that down. It basically means you have a bunch of independent blockchains. But here's the key. Instead of fighting each other, they're all unified. They share one brand, they play by the same rules, and they can all talk to each other. And the really cool part is that each chain is purpose-built. It's designed to do one specific job, and do it incredibly well. This really lays out the two possible paths forward. On one side, you have that one-chain model. It's fragile. If that one chain gets clogged up or fails, the whole system grinds to a halt. It's like trying to run an entire country with just one single highway. But on the other side, the ecosystem model is strong and efficient. It's more like a modern nation with a whole network of specialized highways, railways, and flight paths all working together seamlessly. So why is this unified ecosystem model so much better? Well, it's all about combining the best of both worlds. You get the incredible power of specialization with the trust and efficiency that comes from being unified. Let's look at what that actually means. First step, resilience. You avoid that single point of failure. If one specialized chain has a problem, the rest of the network just keeps on humming. Next, you get rid of market fragmentation because everything can talk to everything else. This also unlocks hyper-specialization. You can have one chain that's perfectly tuned for payments and another one built just for complex smart contracts. And finally, you build trust. That unified brand gives users and big institutions the confidence and reliability they need. The best way to get your head around this is to think of it like a digital version of a country's infrastructure. I mean, a nation doesn't just have highways, right? It also has railways for heavy cargo, a totally separate system for air traffic control, and shipping lanes for boats. They're all different, specialized systems, but they all serve one cohesive economy. That's the exact same logic here. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But here's the thing. This is not just a futuristic idea. This massive architectural shift, it's already happening. Some of the biggest projects in crypto are building this model as we speak. You've got Cosmos, for example. It's designed as an ecosystem of independent chains that can all communicate through a shared standard called IBC. You can think of IBC as a kind of universal translator for blockchains. It lets this whole universe of different chains talk to each other, even though they're all sovereign and independent. Then you have Polkadot. It's all under a single brand, and it has these specialized parachains that all plug into a central hub. By doing that, they all benefit from the shared security of the main network. It's a perfect example of that unity and specialization in action. Avalanche does something pretty similar with what they call subnets. These are basically custom blockchains that projects can spin up for their own specific needs, but they all live inside the bigger Avalanche network and have to follow its core rules. And you can even see this same principle at work in a different type of architecture called sharding, which is used by platforms like Ton and Near. Sharding is basically like adding more lanes to a superhighway. Instead of one single, slow lane, you break the work up into lots of smaller parallel chains, or shards, that process transactions all at once. The whole system becomes way faster and more efficient. So the crucial takeaway here is that all of these different projects, with their different technologies, are all basically heading in the same direction. They're all building toward this idea of an interchain nation, a digital state with many specialized parts, all operating under one brand, one common rulebook, and one shared language. Now, why does any of this matter outside of the crypto bubble? Because this architecture,
This might just be the blueprint for the future of money itself. This is exactly the kind of structure that global finance has been waiting for to finally enter the digital age.
And you can see why. I mean, think about it from the perspective of a big bank or a government. They look at the current crypto landscape and they just see chaos, the Wild West. They don't want 1,000 different standards. They need what this Interchain Nation model provides: standardization, clear rules, accountability, and specialized high-performance financial rails they can actually rely on.
In fact, just imagine how you would design a global system for central bank digital currencies, a digital dollar or a digital euro. You'd probably start with a single global network protocol. Then you'd build out specialized chains on top of it. One just for our everyday retail payments, another totally separate one for huge wholesale bank transfers, and maybe a third just for settling payments between entire countries. It's a perfect real-world use case for this idea.
And get this isn't just speculation. This modular multi-chain vision is almost exactly how major global institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the Bank for International Settlements are already describing the future architecture of digital money. The endgame they see is a coordinated ecosystem, not one single chain to rule them all. So that whole idea of a single blockchain winner is probably just a myth. The real future is a unified, modular, multi-chain ecosystem. The only real question left is, who's going to build the first true global interchain nation? The race is officially on.